This is a brief presentation of the full report put together by the Mixed Methods Evaluation Training and Analysis Lab at the Middlebury Institute of International Studies at Monterey. This report looks like the Night Walks program and their impact on violence in Salinas. Night Walks is a community violence prevention program in the city of Salinas that has been taking place on a weekly basis since 2009. Currently, the program operates along 3 routes: Acosta Plaza, Hebbron Heights, and Del Monte Avenue. Members of the faith community walk predetermined routes with the purpose of making a presence in the streets during the most dangerous hours of gang violence. The Meta Lab supports Night Walks through its partnership with CASP, determining hotspots of violence using aggregate police data and mapping software. This report focuses on the ebbs and flows of gang violence in locations within the city where Night Walks takes place. In the span of 25 months, from January 2012 to March 2014, the Salinas Police Department recorded 5,053 violent crimes relevant to the study. For additional information on these crimes, please look at the full report. Figure 1 illustrates the moving average fluctuation of violent crimes. According to the records, the lowest number of crimes occurred on February of 2013, with only 155 recorded instances in this month. October of 2012 had the highest number of crimes. The data indicate that out of 5,053 entries, only 486, or 9.62%, of the crimes reported were related to gang activity. Attempted murder is the most common gang-related crime, with 98 instances recorded. Out of the 486 gang-related crimes, only 46.7% led to arrests. Figure 2 indicates that 6 p.m. is the most active time for gang activity citywide. Table 1 displays the daily difference between gang and non-gang related crimes in Salinas. On average, Sunday was the most active day of the week for gang and non-gang related crimes citywide. However, when we start breaking down the daily crimes by gang and non-gang related activity, the story begins to change. Sunday has the highest occurrence of gang-related crimes, with 10.82% of crimes committed on that day recorded as gang-related. However, Thursday, with an average of 5.88 gang and non-gang-related crimes per day, has the second highest percentage of gang-related crimes in a day, with 10.23%. Now, let's take a look at individual program impact. The Acosta Plaza Night Walks are led by Reverend Lawrence Robles from St. George's Episcopal Church. The walkers meet at the bread box and then head into Acosta Plaza. The map you see provides a bird's eye view of the route walked by the night walkers, represented as a solid black line. The overall police records were subset using this route. This was done by adding a 100-meter perimeter used to capture point data within the area. A total of 55 observations were culled from the aggregate records using this spillover buffer. The table on the right breaks down the recorded crimes in Acosta Plaza by type. All dots in the map represent reported crime locations. On many of these locations, multiple crimes have been recorded. This subset indicates that 14 out of the 55 crimes reported were gang-related. The map was processed using optimized hotspot analysis. The hotspot analysis tool automatically aggregates incident data, clustering high-value locations where multiple crimes have been recorded and low-value locations where less crimes have been recorded. The optimized hotspot analysis gets darker as the number of incidents in each quadrant increases. The Del Monte Night Walks meets at St. Mary of Natividad Church and then sets off on their route. This map received the same treatment as the Acosta Plaza map. The Del Monte route was plotted and a 100-meter buffer was added to capture an area of immediate impact for the walks. A total of 174 observations were culled from the aggregate records using the impact buffer. The table on the right breaks down the recorded crimes in Acosta Plaza by type. Again, The crime locations seen on the map project only the physical locations of incidents. However, many of these locations have multiple crime records. This subset indicates that 27 out of 174 reported crime incidents were gang-related, or 18.4% of the crimes in the Del Monte route. Out of the 174 crime records within the Del Monte route, 64 of these incidents ended up in arrest. Sunday is the day with the most gang-related arrests, with 27% of violent crimes resulting in arrests. The Hebbron Heights night walks are also led by members of the faith community. The plotted route meets at Hebbron Family Center before beginning the walk by traveling south on North Hebbron Avenue. The walkers then turn east on Market Street and remain on this trajectory until they reach Carr Avenue. At the intersection between Carr and Market Street, the walkers turn north for another block before turning back on Fremont Street and eventually returning at the starting point at the Hebbron Family Center. The Hebbron route received the same GIS treatment as the Del Monte and Acosta Plaza sites. A total of 44 violent crimes were culled from the Hebbron Heights route using the 100-meter impact buffer. The table on the right breaks down crimes in the relevant vicinity to the Hebbron Heights nightwalks. From the 44 crimes extracted from this buffer, only 8 of these incidents were recorded as gang-related, approximately 18.1% of crimes within the selected area. Unlike the other 2 sites and the city in general, crime in the Hebbron Heights area occurs predominantly on Fridays, followed by Tuesdays. The Nightwalk program is a community mobilization effort that brings people out to the streets to stand up against the public perception that Salinas is a violent city and that people should be afraid to come out during certain times of the day. The response to the walks may range from polite nods to full conversations between the walkers and the members of these communities. However, this mechanism aims to prove to members of these communities that they matter even to those not living in the area. The program elevates the level of social capital in these communities by strengthening and encouraging the formation of healthy social networks. Social capital refers to the norms that shape the quality and quantity of a community's social interactions. The Nightwatch program helps develop solidarity within these communities, which in turn may have a multiplier effect on the community and how they view crime. Collective action depends upon well-connected social networks. Violence and the norms surrounding this phenomenon are a multidimensional problem. Short-term solutions that do not involve the communities in which the violence occurs are doomed to fail. The value of strengthening a community's level of cohesion is incalculable. In this examination, we used a 100-meter buffer to gauge and determine the impact of this program. However, the true impact of human connections and their multiplier effect cannot be measured with a predetermined radius.